service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's mood of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness and he becomes completely happy. Thus, established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, the man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. Thus, the knot in the heart is pierced and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive actions is terminated when one sees the self as master. He will become liberated from the influence of the modes of ignorance and passion, and thus all inauspicious things accumulated in the core of the heart will disappear. How will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and the most fallen. Therefore, I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, for I am powerless to do so on my own. Somehow or other, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or failure as you like. O spiritual master of all the worlds, I can simply repeat your message. So, if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. Only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. I'm sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their heart, they will certainly feel engladdened and thus become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. O Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance, O Lord, make me dance as you like. I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I have been designated as Bhakti Vedanta, and now, if you like, you can fulfill the purport of Bhakti Vedanta. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. So, as you see, Prabhupada has written his heartfelt words through this poem because he was going in the ship to America to preach, and he was, he had seasickness, and then he also suffered two times heart attack, not just once but two times, and yet he never gave up. He started praying to Krishna through his poem, and that is the reason he composed this poem. And he asked Krishna for help. And after this, you know what happened? Uh, Give me a moment. Let me share the screen. So he was 60 plus. He was 69 years old, and yet he was daring, dashing. He went to America all by himself, without anybody's help, all alone. Okay, purely and only depending on Krishna. And he got a dream in the ship after singing Jaladota prayers. Okay, so as you see in the picture, he got a dream where he's traveling in the ship, uh, and Krishna is the captain of the ship. Okay, and he could also see all the other incarnations of the Lord, as you see in the picture, Narasimhadev, Parashuram, all the incarnations, Varahadev, um, Kurmadev, okay, Matsyavatar, all the incarnations of Krishna, and all of them are rowing the boat. Okay, they're all rowing the boat and delivering Prabhupada to America safely. Okay, so and Krishna is smiling in the captain's seat, sitting, and he's smiling, and this indicates that Krishna has personally come to help Prabhupada reach America and preach the mission of Chaitanya. So, what this tells us is, when our mission and Lord's mission are the same, when our desires and Lord's desires are the same, then Krishna himself comes and helps us. Same thing happened with Mahabharat, Kurukshetra war as well, right? Krishna was the one who provoked, and the war happened. And finally, Krishna helped, right? Arjuna and Draupadi was insulted, and that's how Kurukshetra war happened. That was the reason why Kurukshetra war happened. And because the Lord wanted to annihilate all the miscreants, that is the reason he came to the world, right? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. So that was the opportunity. Krishna wanted to accumulate all the bad people in one place and kill them all at once. Okay, and Krishna's plan it was, and then with Krishna's plan, he to execute Krishna's plan, Pandavas acted as the instrument. Right, same here. It was Krishna's mission, Krishna's plan to preach Chaitanya's mission in the Western world. Krishna wanted all Westerners to also have access to Bhagavad Gita, and that's why Prabhupada came as an instrument to do Chaitanya, to execute Krishna's mission. Okay, so quick facts about Prabhupada. So he was born in 1896 when he was, in Kolkata, okay, Bengal. He was born in a Vaishnava family, a pure Vaishnava family. And his name, Prabhupada's name was Abhay Charan, okay. When he was born, his parents named him as Abhay Charan. And his family was a devotee, okay, family of devotee, where both his parents were Lord's devotee. His dad especially used to read Lord Chaitanya Charitamrita and everything after coming back from office work and all. And Prabhupada used to go with his dad sometimes, and housemaid sometimes, to Radha Krishna temple. Every day in the morning he used to go to Radha Krishna temple. And so that's how Prabhupada was trained right from his childhood. Okay, and we all used to play with toys and all when we were kids, but Prabhupada used to have deities, small deities, Jagannath, Subhadra, and Balram, deities, and he used to dress them up, feed them every day. And so those were the toys he had. So he had deities himself, themselves. His dad has gifted them to him. And he used to spend time with the deities every day, like how we have Barbie dolls and Spider-Man and that in this. So he used to have Jagannath deities, and he used to conduct Ratha Yatra once in a year. Okay, he used to call all his neighborhood friends together. He used to have a small cart and keep his deities there, Jagannath and all, and then pull the cart till the entrance of the neighborhood and take it back home. So in this way, he used to have Ratha Yatras. All his friends then would be fed. His mom would feed them all with Krishna Prasadam. They would have kirtan. Okay, this was how they used to have get-togethers. Okay, and he was brought up in that Krishna conscious mindset right from his childhood. And then when he grew up, he met Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. And by the way, Prabhupada was initially into the mission. I mean, he was supporting Mahatma Gandhi's mission. That time freedom fight was going on. Okay, we were all under British rule, India was under British rule. And Prabhupada always wanted to help. Okay, so that's why he wanted to join Gandhi's mission. And he did join. Okay, he was also supporting Gandhi's mission by wearing khadi clothes and all that. Okay, but and then when he met Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati told two things. Okay, first of all, he questioned them. He was like, "You youngsters, why don't you all go and preach Chaitanya's mission all over the world?" Okay, uh, then somebody questioned some. I mean, all of them. It was a group of youth. So Prabhupada was also a young boy, and he questioned. Okay, Abhay Charan questioned Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, saying, first of all, we are under somebody else's rule, British rule. So we are a dependent country. We got to first make our country independent and then think about preaching Chaitanya's mission. Okay, otherwise, who will listen to Indian culture? We are in British rule, right? Everybody are fond of Western culture because of the British influence. Nobody will listen to Indian culture. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati gave a very bold, daring answer. Now, what he said? The real public welfare work should go beyond the concerns of the temporary, and prepare a person for his next life and his eternal relationship with the Supreme. Okay, I'm reading out from this book called Prabhupada, the Messenger of the Supreme Lord. Okay, so in level 2 syllabus, when you order level 2 course material, you get this book as well. It's called Prabhupada, the Messenger of the Lord. Okay, it's a capsule form of Prabhupada Leelamrita. Okay, Leelamrita is a, is a very huge book. It requires a lot of time to read, but this is a very thin book. Okay, it's a capsule form. Entire Prabhupada's journey is given in this book. Okay, so you can read this. If you order second level's course material, you will get this book automatically. Okay. So this is what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said. Okay, real public welfare goes beyond the temporary. This world, India, is material, right? When the material world gets annihilated, India also goes away. So why you bothered about something temporary? Krishna consciousness is more superior to everything. And Krishna consciousness is the immediate, I mean, it is something to be prioritized. Okay, it cannot wait, because Krishna consciousness is the answer to all the problems. Okay, we are suffering, right? Be it under British rule. Now we've got independence. Is the suffering ended? No, we are an independent country, we are still suffering, right? So this suffering, the real suffering, is janma mrityu jara vyadi, right? So this has to be taken away, not the rule or temporary concern. Okay, so Krishna consciousness is the one that takes away, that frees a person from the real suffering of janma mrityu jara vyadi, birth, death, old age and disease. Okay, so when you come out of the clutches of the Maya and this Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi, all you get is happiness, because you don't have to take birth again. You will go back to the Lord. We will all go back home and serve there eternally. Okay, we become Nitya Siddhas. Right now we are Nitya Bhaddhas, eternally conditioned. But when we go back to Golok Vrindavan, we become Nitya Siddhas. Okay, eternally liberated. And we go there and serve the Lord and enjoy the real happiness, and there is no coming back after that. So he was impressed, Abhay Charan and his friends were impressed by Bhaktisiddhanta's words. And that's when, he started preparing himself. He was like, yeah, I have to preach, I have to take it up. And he started doing his homework. He started writing Bhagavad Gita, translating it. He first of all started reading Bhagavad Gita, okay, understanding. He started joining Gaudiya Maths. Okay, so Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati has founded a lot of Gaudiya Maths. Gaudiya Math is similar to ISKCON. Okay, it's an association, but Gaudiya Math is it's a little different. Okay, it has one person ruling the entire Matha system. Okay, it's called Mathadipati and all. But in ISKCON we have a governing body, right? It is a council of 4 to 5 people, key people governing ISKCON matters, whereas Mat has Mathadipati. That was the difference. Okay, so he joined Mat. He used to go there every day, perform devotional activities, chant, and under the guidance of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, he developed himself as a, as a pure devotee, and he became favorite disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. And then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati always used to tell him, write book. I mean, he used to be like, preach Krishna consciousness and print books. Write books and print them, because that's the only way knowledge gets distributed to people. And because people those days were, you know, used to read. That was not a digital age. People used to depend on books those days. So that's why Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati used to tell them, if you ever get money, print books, write books. Okay, so that's why Prabhupada started translating Bhagavad Gita, translating Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavatam, whatnot. Okay, nectar of devotion, nectar of instruction, Ishopanishad, so many things. Okay, he even Mahabharat. And then he started printing one by one as and when he got money. Okay, and after he had, considerable minimum amount of material, he prepared himself to go to America. So in tomorrow's class we will see what happened when Prabhupada, how did Prabhupada go to America, what are the struggles he found when when he had to go to America. After he went to America, what are the struggles he had to go through, and finally how did he establish ISKCON. In tomorrow's class we will see. Okay, so we will begin with today's class, chapter 6. um so sorry, chapter 13, right, today? Yeah, so Jnana Yoga, chapter 13. So we were doing Bhakti Yoga so far, right? Till chapter 12 it was Bhakti Yoga, and now we will be doing chapter 13. From now on it is going to be Jnana Yoga. Okay, the next 6 chapters deal with Jnana Yoga. And in Jnana Yoga, Krishna says how through knowledge one can reach Krishna. Not just see, Bhakti Yoga is not possible for everybody because it requires a lot of Purva Janma Sikriti. We need to do a lot of punya. Just to say Krishna once, we need a lot of punya. And so in last chapter, in 12th chapter, we would have seen, no, Krishna kept on giving options, right? First of all, fix your consciousness upon me, fix and think about me all the time. And if you can't do that, follow the regulative principles of devotional service, right? If you can't do that, do good thing, right? And then if you can't do that either, do nishkama karma yoga. Whatever you do, sacrifice the results to the Lord, right? So he kept on giving options. And now Krishna says, if you cannot do even that, if you cannot do bhakti yoga at all, then you can definitely reach me by jnana yoga. Jnana yoga is more of cultivation of knowledge. It's just cultivating knowledge through knowledge, and that means it is theoretical. See, bhakti yoga has devotional service, activity is there, okay? In jnana yoga we learn, okay, we need to offer prasad, food to the Lord and then eat it as prasadam. That is knowledge. So cultivating this knowledge is jnana yoga, but actually going and offering food to the Lord and then eating it as prasadam is devotional service. It is bhakti yoga. So bhakti yoga has practicality involved in it. Jnana yoga is theoretical. Okay. So that is why Jnana yoga tells us how to reach the Lord. But it is again through bhakti yoga we have to reach the platform of bhakti yoga to actually go back to the Lord. That is the yoga ladder system as well, right? Karma yoga, uh, dhyana yoga, jnana yoga, and then bhakti yoga. So like I already said, whichever yoga you're following, you have to ultimately come to bhakti yoga to reach the Lord. It is all through stones, through stepping stones. These jnana yoga, karma yoga, and ashtanga yoga, all these are stepping stones to go back to bhakti yoga and then reach the Lord. Okay, so we saw the chapter 12 recap. At the end of the last section of chapter 12, we also saw the qualities that endure to Krishna, right? What qualities one should develop to become a devotee of the Lord. Uh, Being equal to both sadness and happiness. These are all qualities one has to develop. How to develop? Don't consciously try to develop these qualities. Chant and ask Krishna to help. He will give you all these qualities automatically. Okay, the moment we get purified through chanting, the moment our soul gets purified, these bad qualities automatically go away. Okay, what there is a definition, of what is light. Absence of darkness is called light. So you don't have to put explicitly, light something to extinguish, darkness. The moment darkness goes away, there is light automatically. So in the same way, the moment we start chanting, the moment all our bad qualities go away, there is good qualities instilled in us automatically. Okay, you don't have to do anything explicitly to instill good qualities within yourself. Just chant, send away all your bad qualities, and then there is what is left is just good qualities. Okay, in chapter 13 we will be seeing, chapter 13 is a short chapter, okay, just 35 shlokas, and we will be doing just half of it today. So first of all, Arjuna asks 6 questions to Krishna. Okay, Prakriti, Purusha, Kshetra, Kshetrajnya, Jnanam, Jneyam. These are the 6 questions, and Krishna answers each of these. Okay, and then um, next is Jnana Chakshusha. Okay, the vision of knowledge. Krishna instructs. Like we already saw, Charma Chakshu. Through Charma Chakshu, we cannot see the Lord. Through Prema Chakshu, Arjuna couldn't see the Vishwarupa, right? He needed Divya Chakshu for it. In the same way, in the last section, Krishna helps us understand the Jnana Chakshu, the vision of knowledge. Okay. Now, this we already discussed. 1 to 6, chapter 1 to 6 is Karma Yoga, chapter 7 to 12 is Bhakti Yoga, and chapter 13 to 18 is Jnana Yoga. So, why is Bhakti Yoga in the middle? Because Bhakti Yoga is the essence of the entire Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so that's why Bhakti Yoga is guarded by the Karma Yoga on one side and Jnana Yoga on the other side. Okay, so that's why Bhakti Yoga, chapter 9 says most confidential knowledge, right? So Bhakti Yoga has the most confidential knowledge, which every devotee has to know. That's why Krishna has hidden it and kept it in the middle. Okay. Now, if Bhakti is the culmination, why Jnana Yoga is presented in the last 6 chapters? Like I already told, even if you're cultivating knowledge, Jnana Yoga, one has to reach Bhakti Yoga's platform to reach the Lord. Then why is Krishna talking about Jnana Yoga if Bhakti Yoga is the only important thing? Okay. Why? Because you should know how to do bhakti, right? See, in the first 6 chapters, through karma, through the work that you're doing, through any activity that you're doing, how to achieve bhakti, it is discussed, right? Nishkama karma yoga and everything. In the last 6 chapters, Krishna says, okay, some people don't want to work either, no, they are very lazy, or retired people, they don't work, right? So they just spend their life, right? So they don't want to do anything, and even if they want to do, they don't know what to do. For them to give knowledge, to do something, you need to first of all know what to do, right? So you need to have the relevant jnana. So that's why Krishna explains Jnana Yoga, okay, the knowledge. And in the knowledge of what? Knowledge of the absolute truth, knowledge to perform devotional service. So this Jnana Yoga is again overlapping with the Bhakti Yoga, because this knowledge is again about Bhakti Yoga, how to perform and achieve Bhakti Yoga. Okay, so yeah. So in 12th chapter also Krishna explained how personally he delivers his devotees from birth and death. Right. So last 6 chapters give us the philosophical knowledge, okay, necessary to free oneself from the material um, world. Okay. Now jnana is detachment from Maya and attachment to Krishna. Okay, see, a detachment from Maya and attachment to Krishna is what is bhakti, right? When you do bhakti, you automatically attain that vairagya state. But using this jnana to attain, reach that state, is what is jnana yoga all about. Okay, so like see, when we use knowledge as a means to attain devotion, it becomes part of bhakti. Okay, so that's why it is jnana yoga. Yoga means connection to the Lord, right? Connecting with the Lord through jnana, how to connect with the Lord. Now Arjuna 6 questions. Now Arjuna asks Krishna, I have doubts. Okay, 6 questions Arjuna asks. I want to know about prakriti, that is the material nature. Purusha is the enjoyer. The field or the knower of the field. The knowledge and the end of knowledge. End of knowledge is the object of knowledge. Okay, so now Krishna once again, I mean, one by one starts answering. Okay. First of all, Prakriti is the material nature, we all know. Okay. Purusha is the enjoyer. Okay. Field. Field is what? The body that we have, right? Kshetra. Kshetra is called the field. Okay. So Krishna starts with the body. The body in which the soul is in is called the field because, see, field can be related to a playground. You go to a playground and play, right? In the same way, if the soul has to do any activity, it needs a field, right? It needs, if you want to play cricket, you need a cricket field. The same way, the soul, to perform devotional activities, it needs a proper infrastructure, field. That is the body, that is given by the material body. So that's why material body is called the kshetra. Okay, kshetrajnya is the knower of the field. I am situated in this body, the atma, right? I'm the soul. So soul knows the body, right? So I am the knower of the body as well, so I am the kshetrajnya. Okay, so that's why Krishna says the field is the body, I mean the body is the field, and knower of the field is kshetrajnya. Okay, So like we already saw, Prakriti is the material nature, Purusha is the enjoyer. So sitting in this body, you are enjoying certain things, right? Kirtan, bhajan, when you perform, you get that satisfaction. You are the enjoyer. So Atma is the enjoyer as well, Purusha. Okay, and Kshetra is the body. Kshetrajnya is the knower of the body, observer. Okay, yeah. So the soul, and see, always understand in the heart there are two souls, right? One is Jivatma, Anuatma, that is our soul, and other one is Paramatma sitting, right? So Supersoul and the soul both are the knowers of the body, Kshetrajnya. And then Jnanam is the knowledge. Understanding the Kshetra and Kshetrajnya, okay, is the knowledge. That is understanding the Kshetra, body, and the knower of the body. That means the elements here, the material, the body is material, the material aspect. Knower of the body is spiritual, Atma, right? Spirit soul. So the material aspect and the spiritual aspect. The moment you understand this, that means you are in full knowledge. Okay? Jnanam. And then the object of knowledge. What is the goal of knowing this knowledge? Paramatma. To reach the Lord, you should understand the material aspect and the spiritual aspect. Otherwise, living in this material world, nobody can reach the Lord. Okay? This is the Prakriti. Okay? The material world, or the material nature. Okay, now Kshetra. Kshetra is the body. Okay? Who gets the body? The Jivatma, soul, right? We are all conditioned souls. Why are we conditioned? Because of our karma. Who is conditioning us? Material nature, that is the Maya. Okay? And why are we conditioned? And yeah, so why does he get this body? Why do we get this body? Janma, I mean, dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhiras tatra mushyati, right? So transmigration, at the time of death, the body, the soul leaves one body and leaves, goes to another body. Why? Because of the desire, unfulfilled desires that we have at the time of death. Okay, like Bharata's story. Right, Bharata was became a deer because he was thinking about a deer when he was death, I mean, when he was on the deathbed, right? So because of the desires we get the next body. Okay, if you're thinking about, say, if you're a money minded person, if you think about, okay, who will look after my property, who will look after my money and all that, you will definitely again take birth as a human being, and in this material world. Okay, if you are so much attached to some friend or family or daughter, mother and all, again you will take birth in the same family. Okay, in next future generations. Okay, if you are attached to some pet dog or something, you will become a dog. Okay, so if you are thinking, whatever you think about, you will become that. If you think about Krishna, you will go back. Okay, if you see the form of the Lord, like in Kamsa, when Kamsa died, Kamsa was seeing the form of the Lord, the Krishna's form. And when he died, that's why some people say Kamsa attained Sarupya Mukti. That means Kamsa got the same form as that of the Lord. Okay, there are five types of liberation. Sarupya means same form. This is one type of liberation. Okay, if you desire, then Krishna will give us this kind of liberation as well. Okay, Sarupya means same rupa, same form as that of the Lord. In Vaikuntha, if you see, all of us, all of the souls who are there in Vaikuntha, they all have 400 Narayana Vishnu form. Okay, that is called Sarupya Mukti. Kamsa also, people say he's got Sarupya Mukti because he was seeing the Krishna's form, and when he was dying on the deathbed. Okay, so whatever you see, that form you get in your next life. That is the reason we get the body. Okay, next body. So that is why we get the Kshetra. That is Kshetra, right? Field, or the body is called Kshetra. And criteria to decide which body is capacity to dominate the material nature. See, when we die, when on at the time of death, when we desire something, that means it is indirectly telling the material nature that we want to dominate, we want to lord over the material nature. Like money, if you're thinking about money, then you want to lord over money aspect of material nature. So in your next janma, you will be probably given a millionaire form, Okay, you will become a millionaire or something like that, so that you can lord over money. Okay, according to your desire. If you want to say, when I'm dying, I will think of a okay, I want to, I desire to become a some kind of an living entity where I can fly. Okay, I want to be a human being, but I want to fly. Okay, so Krishna will put you in a planet where human beings can fly. Might not be Earth, some other planet. Depending on that capacity, you get that particular body. If you want to eat raw flesh, okay, if that is your desire, Krishna will give you a body of a lion. Krishna will be like, you don't even have to cook, eat flesh every day, raw flesh. Okay, so based on the capacity of our to dominate over the material nature, we will be given that body, and according to the capacity to enjoy sense gratification, we will get that particular body, like the lion example that I told you. Okay, now Kshetrajnya. Kshetra is the body, the field. Okay, now Kshetrajnya is the owner or the knower of the body. So, knower is what? The soul. Soul is sitting inside the body, right? So, the soul knows this body belongs to the soul. Okay, now that our consciousness is covered, we are not able to understand, we are all Atma Swarupis. Okay, we still identify ourselves with the body, but the soul knows everything. Soul knows, okay, that the soul is inside the body, and soul knows everything that our mind is doing. Okay, and Paramatma is also accompanying the soul. Paramatma also is a eternal witness to what the soul does. Soul keeps enjoying the karma, no, either bad karma or good karma, past karma, punishments or happiness. The soul keeps suffering and enjoying, and the Paramatma keeps seeing. Okay, that is the difference between Jivatma and Paramatma. Now, how to understand the difference between the body and the knower of the body? Okay, so the body, when we were born, we were all small, right? We were all babies. Now, when we grow up, we definitely, our body changes. Does the soul change? No. Why? We already saw, right? In Katha Upanishad, it's given. Soul is what? 1,000th tip of a hair. I mean, part of a tip of a hair, right? So that is the constant size of the soul. Soul does not undergo any change. Okay, it is the body that is changing. Okay, soul means what? It's consciousness, it's the life factor, it is the element, right? It is a spark of the spirituality, spirit. That's why we are called spirit souls, right? So it is not the soul that is changing. That means what? Soul and body are different. This is the first thing we have to understand in Jnana Yoga. Soul and body is different. That's why Kshetra is there, Kshetrajnya is there. Body and knower of the body is what is called as soul. Okay? This is called the intuitive understanding of Jnana Yoga. And then, yeah, like I already told, along with the Jivatma in the heart, we also have Paramatma sitting in the heart. Okay? Now, chapter 1 to 6 discusses the knower of the body and the position by which we can understand the Supreme Lord through karma, right? Karma Yoga. Um, chapter 7 to 12, we understand the relationship of the soul. Okay, see, chapter 2 deals with the Karma Yoga part of Bhagavad Gita. In chapter 2, Krishna reveals that we are all souls, not the body. That means Krishna gives us a superficial understanding that soul and body are different. Okay, in chapter 12, in Bhakti Yoga section, we understand the relationship between the soul and the Lord, right? What are we? Part and parcel of the Lord, and we are all eternal servitors of the Lord, right? And in chapter 13 to 18, that is Jnana Yoga, we actually understand, okay, um, the difference between the material aspect of the world and the spiritual aspect of the world, and we get a deeper understanding of it, and also explains how living entity is delivered by the Lord through different methods. Okay, now Krishna answers the next set of questions. Okay, first two questions, Kshetra, Kshetrajnya, done. Next, क्षेत्रज्ञं चापि मां विद्धि सर्वक्षेत्रेषु भारत क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञयोर्ज्ञानं यत्तज्ज्ञानं मततं मम. So you should understand that I am also the knower of in all bodies, and to understand this, body and its knower is called knowledge. Okay, so far whatever we discussed. So in the picture, if you see two things in the heart, or two souls, okay, one is Anuatma, Vibhuatma. Anuatma is Jivatma, Vibhuatma is the Paramatma. Okay, so now next is Kshetrajnya. There is also the second knower, the super soul, which medical science rejects. But in spirituality, entire spiritual science is based on Paramatma. Okay, Jnanam is to understand this. Okay, understand the presence of Kshetra. I mean the difference between Kshetra and Kshetrajnya, and understanding the presence of both super soul and soul in a body, and understanding that both of them are Kshetrajnyas. Okay, knower of the body. This is called Jnanam. Okay, uh, and the object of knowing this knowledge is definitely reaching the Lord. Okay, recap. Kshetra is field of activity. Two kind of knowers: super soul and soul, individual soul. Okay, now super soul is the planetary. Now how is Krishna the knower? Okay, why is Krishna sitting in the heart as Paramatma? See, Paramatma is who? Krishna's plenary expansion. That means Vishnu, Narayana form. Okay, that's why in our hearts we don't have the two-handed Shamasundara form staying in our hearts. We have Vishnu incarnation staying in our hearts. Okay, the four-handed form. Okay, with Shankha Chakra Gada Kamala. Okay, uh, uh, now so this form, okay, the Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is what the Narayana form is. Okay, the super soul form. He accompanies every atom, okay, and every living entity. Why? To guide and first of all to understand the desires of that living entity, and guide the living entity towards that path to attain that desire, achieve that desire. That is why once our desire becomes Krishna, we want to I want to become a devotee of Krishna, I want to go back home, I don't want to suffer. Once that kind of a desire you get in your mind, and once that desire becomes intense, only intense desires Lord will realize, I mean give you. Okay, help you attain. Not all desires. Okay, the more intensely you feel the love for Lord, more intensely you want to go back to the Lord, then Krishna will guide you. I mean, the Paramatma will guide you, gives you a spiritual master, and sends you back to home, back to Godhead. Okay, any desire, even in material world. Okay, if you want say a promotion in your work, if you have that promotion wala desire intensely in your heart, then Krishna will help you. Okay, if your desires are not intense, then based on the intensity, Paramatma helps you realize. That's why people say, no, I want this, but then it's not happening only because something else is more intense. Some other desire probably in your heart is more intense. Krishna will fulfill that first, and then he will fulfill the other. Okay, that's why that is how this law of attraction and all works, right? The more intensely you attract something, that works. Right, so Bhagavad Gita has it even before law of attraction concept came into being. So Bhagavad Gita has answer for everything. Okay, now difference between soul and super soul. So living entities are known as Jivatma, and God, Paramatma, is the Lord Himself. Okay. Now, like I already told, it's Anuatma. Jivatmas are called Anuatma because they are very, very small in size. Okay, 1/10,000 part of the tip of hair. But super soul is Vibhu, infinite. It's like an ocean. Okay, we are like a drop in the ocean, and super soul is like an ocean. Okay, and then cognizant of one's own body. The soul, we just know our body. Super soul knows everybody's body. It's the same super soul staying in everybody's body, right? And then soul is the secondary proprietor of the body. Okay, because super soul is the primary proprietor of the body. Okay, now soul is the secondary controller of the senses, and super soul is the primary controller of the senses. It's like you have a family, you take care of your own family, but king, or say the prime minister takes care of all the families in the house, right? Welfare of all the families, same way. And then soul is fallible. Okay, can anytime get into the clutches of Maya and fall down. But Supersoul is infallible. Okay, because Supersoul cannot be controlled by Maya. Rather, he controls Maya. Okay. Now, what is the soul's position? Subordinate to the Lord, servitor, loving servitor of the Lord. And Supersoul is to be served. Okay, he's the eternal master, but he's a loving master. He's a proprietor. And innumerable living entities. Okay, there are innumerable living entities, but Supersoul is just one. Okay. Tat kshetram yachad yadrikcha यद्विखारी यतश्चयत् स च यो यत् प्रभावश्च तत्समासेन मे शृणु. Now please hear from me my brief description of this field of activity and how it is constituted, what its changes are, and when is it produced, who the knower of the field activities is, and what his influences are. So Krishna is giving a deeper understanding here. Okay. ऋषिभिर्बहुधा गीतं छन्दोभिर्विविधैः पृथक् ब्रह्मसूत्रापदश्चैव हेतुमाभिर्विनिश्चितः. So the knowledge of the field of activities and of the knower of activities is described by various sages in Vedic knowledge. Okay, so it is especially present in Vedanta Sutra with all reasonings to the cause and effect. Like we already saw, one gets a body according to the cause, right? Karma phala. Based on the results of our karma, we get our bodies. Now, we have something, okay? The consciousness, levels of consciousness of the body. Okay, it begins with Annamaya. Annamaya is the lowest level of consciousness. Okay, it is found in probably little, animals, not even animals, plants and aquatics. Okay, Annamaya. The moment they get food, they are happy. That sort of consciousness. I mean, even human beings. Some human beings are also like that, right? Annamaya means the moment they are fed well, they are happy. That's all. They are like born to live sort of people. Okay, but these are lowest level of species. Okay, and then pranamaya, they are they want food, and they are concerned with about protection as well. Okay, protection of their life. Okay, like you can consider this to be animals, higher levels of animals like beasts like lions and other animals like dogs and all. They want food also, and they're concerned about um, their life. Prana means life factor, right? They want protection from prana. And then next is Gnanamaya is the next higher level. Okay, this can be found in human beings as well. Okay, Annamaya, they want food. Pranamaya, they're concerned about life as well. And Gnanamaya, they're concerned about cultivating knowledge as well. Okay, then Vijnanamaya, scientists, right? Scientists, they what do? They all the three plus Vijnana, research, scientific knowledge they are interested in. And then Anandamaya are considered to be transcendentalists. Okay, yogis, devotees. Okay, because they are in search of real happiness. Real happiness you cannot find in science or money and all that. Okay, because they are all momentary happiness that you get. Anandamaya is people who are in truly in search of real happiness. They are transcendentalists. They are called devotees. So those are the levels of consciousness everybody has. Some people know, even human beings can be Annamaya stage, can be in Annamaya stage. They are fed well, they are happy. They are not even concerned about their life, health, nothing. Okay. So we always, our ambition should be to reach Anandamaya stage. Okay. Real happiness. Now also some people, most of atheists and all, they are stuck in Vijnanamaya stage. Right? That is the highest level of consciousness they have. Science is ultimate for them. But mm, beyond science is Anandamaya. That is transcendental happiness. Okay. That is where our ambition has to be. Okay, now this is a very nice. Anybody know who this is in the picture? Take a wild guess. Even if it is from
Radharam.
Radharaman. Very good.
Radharam.
Yes, Radharaman. And how is Radharaman? How did he come into existence? Anybody knows? Nobody knows. It's a very interesting story. I think if you listen to Bhagavatam classes every day, morning 8 a.m., we have Prabhuji has discussed so many times. Even Ashura Mataji has discussed so many times. Okay, so there's somebody called Gopal Bhatt Goswami. Okay, there are Shat Goswamis, right? 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, and one of them is Gopal Bhatt Goswami. So he was in Vrindavan, and once what happened, he went to take bath. He was taking bath in river Yamuna. When he see those days, no, I mean when you take bath, you after you take bath, they take a handful of water, they show it to the sun, and they I mean they chant mantras and all that, and then they leave the water back to the river. When he was doing that, they do that 3 times. Okay, when he was doing that, he got shaligrama shilas, okay, in his hand. First time he got shaligrama shilas. He got scared. He was like, okay, what is this? He left it off. Okay, again when he they do it 3 times, right? So again when he did it, he took water, he again got it. Then he was like, okay, these are not leaving me. Third time when he did, he took it along with him. And see, actually basically previous day he got in his dreams that he will be getting shaligrama shilas, and he will have to worship and all that. So he related to the dream, he took it back home, and then he started worshipping the shilas. Okay, and then what happened, one day a rich merchant came to Vrindavan. He came, and he wanted to donate lot of jewelry and all. Okay, so what happened, he came, Bhatt Goswami was like, jewelry and all, what will I do with jewelry, because I have shilas, I don't have a vigraha, I don't have a deity form to worship. I just have shila form, stone form. Okay, so I cannot decorate anything, these Shaligrama Shilas with your jewelry. Okay, take them. Then the merchant was like, it's okay, keep it. Then Gopal Bhatt Goswami took it, and then he felt very sad, out of he actually cried. Gopal Bhatt Goswami cried in front of those Shilas, saying, if I also had DT, I would have also decorated with all these jewelry, right? Uh, um, so he cried and he prayed to Krishna. He prayed so much in the night. Even in the night, he was weeping. He was weeping, weeping, and praying to Krishna. He wanted DT. Okay, and he woke up in the morning, and wonders of wonders, you know what happened? One of the biggest shilas of those shilas, one of the biggest shilas had transformed into this deity that you're seeing in the picture. Exactly the same deity. There is no modification. Nobody sat and sculpted this deity. It was Swayambhava, we say. What is that called? Uh, Udbhava. Okay, Udbhava. That means it just happened. The through the Shila, the deity came up. Okay, so morning he woke up and he saw. He was like, "Wow, there's a deity." And then he decorated the deity with all the jewels and all, and he named it Radharaman and all. Okay, and there is still. Uh, he's very small. Okay, he's very cute. He's called Darling of Vrindavan. Okay, he's very very cute, lotus eyes like you see in the picture. His eyes are exactly in the form of lotus petals. Okay, and he does not have flute in his hand. Okay, this is specialty of Radharaman's deity. He has the hands in that flute position, but he does not have a flute. Okay, it seems that acharyas say, the senior devotees say, okay, he was playing the flute. Radha came. He saw Radha, and he dropped the flute. Out of ecstasy, seeing Radha, he dropped the flute from his hand. Okay, that's why he doesn't have a flute. Anyway, he's very very cute. So why we discuss this is, there are 3 stages of absolute's manifestation. First one is the Brahman, or the consciousness, I mean the Brahma Jyoti. Okay, then second stage is the Paramatma, and the third stage is Bhagavan realization. Okay, now here, um, even in Jnana Yoga, the cultivation of knowledge, okay, we have consciousness, semi consciousness, or dreaming, and then the stage of unconsciousness. Okay, so so yeah, so these are the existence, unconsciousness, consciousness, and semi consciousness. Consciousness is the highest stage. Okay, highest stage, Anandamaya stage. Okay, that's why Krishna consciousness, right? Unconsciousness is not being bothered about anything, the very own developments that is happening in your body. Okay, so unconsciousness is, like I said, annamaya stage, fed well, happy. Okay, so and um, these are the three stages, and you exist therefore in a fourth dimension, transcendental to everything of these. Transcendental, because here the consciousness that we are seeing is material consciousness. Okay, but the Lord is spiritual, right? He is transcendental, so that is spiritual consciousness. Your appearance and disappearance is not dependent on anything beyond yourself. That's why this incident we are seeing, Lord's consciousness, Lord's existence is transcendental. Okay, through a shila he appears. He can appear anywhere, anytime, anyhow, the way he wants, right? That is transcendental. You cannot even imagine, our material senses cannot perceive it. Okay, so you are the supreme cause of everything, but of you there is no cause. He is the cause of everything, but nobody knows his cause, right? He is just there, ever existing. So you are the cause of your own appearance and disappearance. Whenever he wants to appear, he appears. Whenever he wants to disappear, he disappears, right? So, despite your transcendental position, my lord, in order to show your six opulences and advertise your transcendental qualities, you have appeared in your different incarnations. Okay, the fish, tortoise, boar, Narasimha, Keshava, and others. And by your personal manifestation, and you have appeared as different living entities by your separated manifestations. So, what we understand this is Krishna's incarnations are of different types. We've already seen this, right? Leelavataras, Gunavataras, um, Shakti Avesha Avataras, Yuga Avataras, Manvantara Avataras. So, the Kurma, Matsya, Narasimha, Varaha, these are all called Vishnu Tattvas, Dashavataras. Okay, Leelavataras, they are all. Okay, that is Krishna's own potency, internal potency. Okay, whereas other avatars like Shakti Aveshaman avatars, like Narada Muni is an avatar. Okay, he is an empowered incarnation of Lord. Kapila is an empowered incarnation. So all these are separated manifestations of the Lord. They are all external, potency of the Lord. So personal manifestations. That's why Vishnu, we don't differentiate Vishnu and Krishna. Both are almost same. They just have four qualities difference. Okay, Vishnu has 60 qualities and Krishna has 64 qualities. Four qualities will not make that much difference. Okay, that's why Vishnu Tattvas, and Krishna, we consider them to be the same. Whereas others like Shiva, Brahma, they are all Gunavataras. They are all separated manifestations. They are all different. We consider them to be very much different from the Lord. Okay. Now, by your internal potency, you appear as different incarnations by Vishnu, like I already told, and external potency, you appear as the phenomenal world. Okay. Now, the five great elements, false ego. The five great elements are the pancha tattvas, are the panchabhutas. Okay, fire, water, air, all these. Okay, and then the false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested, the 10 senses, the mind, the five sense objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate, the life symptoms and convictions. All these are considered in summary to be the field of activities and its interactions. That means these are all considered to be the material world, the body which we belong to. The body is made of the Panchabhutas, right? Air, water, ether, all this. And false ego, intelligence, subtle body, mind, intelligence, they all belong to the subtle body, again belonging to the body. So these are all, whatever is listed here, hatred, happiness, these are all related to the body. The body means Kshetra, the field of activities. Okay, with these interactions, we perform activities. Okay, the soul, when comes in contact with these, activities happen. Okay, just with the body, nothing happens. It needs interaction. That's why soul is there. Okay, the central theme of the purport is indicates that field or the body is non-permanent. Okay, it is a material thing. Okay, Kshetrajnya is a spiritual thing. Okay, because Kshetrajnya is the soul, the knower of the soul. This is what we have to understand, main thing. Okay, components of active field of activities, we already saw the five great elements, and all that. And then the interaction of gross and subtle body causes the activity to happen. Okay, um uh, feelings, emotions come when when the mind and the body come together, right? When the subtle body and the gross body, mind is belongs to subtle body, and the whatever happens, when something happens, the mind perceives it, and that's when happiness and desire, your distress comes in, the emotion comes in when the mind perceives the activity that has happened. That means the gross body and subtle body's interaction is the cause of emotion. Okay, so emotions are a body thing, it's a bodily thing. Okay, and living symptoms represented by the consciousness is totally related to the subtle body. Okay, so that is why spirituality is transcendental to it. That's why Krishna says you have to be equine equipoised to both distress and happiness, because both distress, happiness, these emotions are bodily thing. Once we become devotees, once we enter spirituality, we should understand we are spirit souls. Okay, no more a body. We should not confine ourselves again to bodily platform, bodily perceptions. Okay, so that's why Krishna says forget about these emotions, they are belonging to the bodily consciousness. Your consciousness needs to be elevated. That's how devotee is differentiated, right? And yeah, so basis of this knowledge, um yeah, so all the we saw no already, all acharyas and in Vedas also they have explained this knowledge. Okay, and yeah, so six changes. Okay, six changes, there are six stages of the changes the body undergoes. Okay, the body takes birth, then grows, stays for some time, as in and then reproduces, that is byproducts. Okay, and then decays is disease, and then finally disappears, death, right? So these are the six stages body undergoes. Soul does not undergo any change. Okay, yeah. Now, yeah, so this Krishna's further answer to the question 5. What is question 5? Process of knowledge and liberation. This is related to jnana. Okay, uh, I will read the English version of it, right? Humility, pridelessness. So Krishna is again listing qualities here: humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, okay, to Krishna, and then aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people. Okay, so detachment from general mass of people means don't, it's not that okay we all have to run to forest, don't talk to people. No, detachment from general mass of people is detachment from atheists, detachment from people who don't respect the Lord, detachment from people who are checking your spiritual progress. Okay, detachment from people who are harming you. Okay, and accepting the importance of self realization and philosophical search for the absolute truth, Brahma Jignasa. Okay, all these I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance. Understand this, besides this whatever there may be is ignorance. Okay, some people say no, philanthropists for example, with due respect to all philanthropists, they do a lot of humanity welfare work, right? But if they don't have respect to the Lord, if they help people, some people help a lot, they help others and all, but they don't believe in the Lord. They don't believe in this power called God. Okay, they believe in whatever they see around themselves, and they consider that itself to be God. If you are in need and somebody comes and helps you, they call that person itself God. That's how they look in the positive sides of this world and call it Lord, call it God. Okay, um so people say, okay, they are also very good, kind hearted. But what is the point? Lord is the ultimate ambition of everybody's life, right? And if that person is doing something good, who is giving that impetus to do something good? It is the Paramatma in the heart, right? Pushing that person towards doing something good based on that person's desire, intensity of desire, right? So we are not acknowledging this fact. We are forgetting the real driving force behind anything that is happening, the Paramatma. Forgetting this real cause, and respecting everything else, how is it called respecting? That's why Krishna says, besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance. Okay, forgetfulness of God is called ignorance, right? And if you don't believe in God and do everything else, even if it is good, you are not considered to be an elevated person. Okay, such people definitely, because of all the sikriti, all the good things that they've done, they get a lot of punya. And in their next janma, with Krishna's mercy, if they get a pure devotees association, like how we all got Prabhupada's association, then that person will become a devotee. Okay, otherwise it's going to be very difficult. So understand one thing: behind anything and everything, the actual force is God. Okay, Vishwarupan we saw, right? Everything is God. Fire is God, water is God. Even if you're doing some good thing, donating water, donating food, giving shelter to people, everything is God. Kshirodaksha is there in every atom, right? My laptop has God, my pen has God, book has God. Every atom has Kshirodaksha Vishnu feature. Not so Gratitude is a right attitude. Not acknowledging that fact is not good. Okay, so these are the qualities that Krishna describes. Okay, so we will see this in detail in next class. So these are the qualities I just listed, and in tomorrow's class we will be seeing them in detail and understand how these help us go back to the Lord. Okay, and we will also meditate upon the further pastimes of Prabhupada. Okay, first 15 minutes. Yeah, any questions? Anybody? Mataji, you can stop the recording. Any questions? You can raise your hand.